As we age, our relationship to food changes along with our bodies. When we're younger, we might grab fast food on the run and not think twice about it. In later life, however, eating well can be the key to staying mentally sharp, emotionally balanced, and energetic with a strong immune system and a positive outlook. Numerous benefits of a healthy diet and proper nutrition include increased mental acuity, resistance to illness and disease, higher energy levels, a more robust immune system, faster recuperating times, and better management of chronic health problems. So here to help us understand that this may be easier than we think is Christian Wagley with Everman Natural Foods, a Pensacola co-op that provides wholesome foods for a healthier life, as well as host holistic health events that support healthy living and sustainable lifestyles. Christian, thanks for being here.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me, Jeff.
Well, y'all got lots of things going on, but before we get started into some of the particulars, give us a brief overview of Everman's past, present, and future.
Sure. Everman Natural Foods started back in 1973. It was a group of local folks here in Pensacola who were really interested in eating good, healthy, whole foods, natural foods, foods that hadn't been sprayed with pesticides, that didn't have preservatives and additives in them. And they were having a hard time getting those products at the regular grocery store. So in the cooperative spirit, they got together, they started their own store, and they actually started as a cooperative where you actually had to work in the store or be a member to actually shop there. And it started in a little log cabin down in Gulf Breeze and eventually moved into Pensacola, and we've been in several different locations in downtown Pensacola, and today we have 12,000 members and annual sales of about $7 million.
Great. So things are really, it's obviously very, very popular. Now, you mentioned members. Explain what a member is and pricing. Is there membership prices, or is that reflected in the price of the items? Explain how that part works and the benefits of membership.
Sure. As I said, we have about 12,000 members, but you do not have to be a member to shop there. A membership is $12 a year for and that's good for an entire family. A senior membership is $5 a year. Again, that's good for the entire household. Membership gives you access to certain discounts on a lot of the items in the store. It allows you to attend our seminars either for free or at a reduced cost. One of our missions in the community is education. We have a community room there in the store, and we're constantly doing classes about health and nutrition and wellness, and again, you can attend those either free or reduced cost if you're a member. Also, people want to buy things in volume. Maybe there's something you use a lot of and it's not something perishable. You can buy it by the case as a member and get a really substantial discount off the price that's on the shelf.
Okay, so there's some great benefits for that affordable membership, but anyone can shop there.
Anyone can shop there. Anyone can join as well. And like I said, 12,000 people have, and we love our members. They also participate in the co-op in terms of the board of directors. We're different than a regular grocery store because we're a cooperative. You can actually vote for the board of directors as a member, and they actually ultimately decide the fate of a lot of the things that go on in the store with that cooperative spirit.
Great.
So.
Well, you know, in the lead-in I was talking about, especially for seniors or anyone as we age, eating healthier is something that we really need to pay more attention to. How does the products that Everman's carry factor into that and follow along with that healthy living?
Well, we're very much like a regular grocery store in the sense that you're going to find all of the same products that you would find at a regular grocery store. You know, fresh produce. There's a delicatessen that we have. We have meat and poultry, all the grocery items, all the different things you'd find at a regular grocery store. But some significant differences are that many of our products, including pretty much all of our produce, are certified organic. So that means it hasn't been sprayed with pesticides or herbicides. It's been grown in a healthier way, and that's certified by the United States Department of Agriculture. And our foods are going to be, we've kind of done the detective work for you. When people are trying to find out what ingredients are in foods, we've sort of done that work for people on the front end, and we've sorted through the things that don't meet our standards, and we've only put on the shelves the products that are free of additives and preservatives, don't contain things like hydrogenated oils that are horrible for our cholesterol and health, and then things like artificial sweeteners, for example. So our foods are really whole and pure and kind of as close to the earth as we can get them, and it really makes a difference.
Well, I'm glad you defined certified organic. I was looking around the store the other day and I saw terms like organic and natural. For example, how do they define natural?
Yeah, natural would mean it would be, it wouldn't have anything artificial in it. So a lot of foods have artificial sweeteners in them, for example, or artificial flavor enhancers, things like that. Our foods, again, are going to be very close to the earth, the way they were produced, wholesome, the way people have been eating for many, many generations, and the way that's proven to really to be healthier.
Well, people tend to think of quality products as being expensive, and I know we get what we pay for, and that's understandable. But then there's the flip side that some people may say that those on limited incomes can't afford to eat healthy. How would you respond to that?
Well, we have people of all income levels who shop at our store. I know there's a lot of folks that I know personally who are supporting large families and don't have a lot of income, and yet they're able to shop easily in our store by being smart shoppers. One of the things people tend to do today a lot of times because they're in a hurry is they buy a lot of packaged foods. Packaged foods or processed, they cost a lot more money, and we sell a lot of packaged foods, but they are obviously healthier than the conventional packaged foods, but they do cost more. So we recommend to people buying fresh products, the fresh produce. One of the other really neat things that we have are bulk bins, where you literally scoop out into a bag whatever you want, and that's a lot of the different types of flour and grains, and it's a lot cheaper to get it in the bulk bins than it is to buy it packaged on the shelf. And we also constantly have sales. We have coupons that are there in front of the store for shoppers to use, and like I said, member-only specials as well to help keep the costs down.
Right, so it is affordable to everyone.
Absolutely, and really there's no way to put a price on your health, and
right.
I see it every day with the customers who shop there, and they tell me how old they are, and they look 10 years younger than that because they've been doing this for a long time, and putting, literally putting good fuel in your body just the way you would put good fuel in your car. So.
Well, now let's switch over to the educational component, because you mentioned the community room and the different things that y'all do. I know coming up you've got several different events. I know you've got a organic wine tasting. Tell us a little bit about that. On that Saturday, April the 10th. Tell us a little bit about how that works.
Sure. Well, we do have a nice section of wines, and certainly red wines are being promoted for some of their health benefits, for example. But the significant things about our wines is that they're going to be free of added sulfites. Sulfites is a preservative that all wines contain a small amount of naturally, but most winemakers add that to it additionally, and some people are very sensitive to that. It can cause headaches and other types of issues. So our wines are free of sulfites, and many of them, again, are organic, which means the grapes were grown without being sprayed with pesticides or synthetic fertilizers and such. So the tastings are great to find a lot of new wines that people aren't going to see in a regular store.
Great. Well, that's another one was 4 Seasons of Backyard Fruit. What's that about, and what are people going to learn?
Oh, I'm actually the one leading that one. It's a passion of mine because a lot of people, we want to grow our own food more locally and eat more locally and get access to more fresh food, but vegetable gardening, for example, is very intensive in terms of time and the amount of work. But growing fruit trees and shrubs in our yard here is very easy to do. Once they're planted and established, you can literally have a harvest of fruit almost throughout the year. And so I'm going to be talking about some of the easy-to-grow varieties of things here in Pensacola: blueberries, citrus, loquat, fig, how to grow them, and then how to harvest and prepare them as well.
So that kind of ties into the following class about eating your garden's greens, right? What is that going to be about?
Yeah, we're going to be talking about, as we transition into spring and still a little bit of the winter greens around, things like collards and kale and dandelion greens and all these greens that are just so healthy and so life-giving, and a lot of people don't know how to prepare them. So we have a couple of folks that are going to actually do a cooking class there and teach folks how to prepare these greens that are so healthy and we want to have part of our diet.
And what about wheatgrass? I know the benefits of wheatgrass is coming up, but you've just got a few more minutes, but go ahead and tell me a little bit about that class.
Yeah, wheatgrass is literally where you take what the seed that wheat is made from. We grind the seed to make wheat. They're called wheat berries. Well, you take those and you sprout them in water just like you would sprout a seed for your garden, and the wheatgrass grows. It looks very much like a thick blade of green grass, and there are a lot of very health-giving properties to wheatgrass. People take it and they juice it in a juicer. We sell shots of it there at the deli in our store, and then people do it at home as well. It's very detoxifying, very healthy for the liver, and a lot of other health benefits to wheatgrass as well. And people feel like it just gives them a good shot of energy.
Well, great. Well, we've been showing the information about these particular events up on the screen and during our conversation. So one last time, if people want more information about Everman Natural Foods, what's the phone number?
Sure, it's 850-438-0402.
Thank you for being here. That's great information, and we hope we see lots of our viewers in your store.
Hope so too. Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.